remembering the tragic events of 9/11. We return you to the Opie and Anthony Show. Original air date, September 11th, 2001.
The first people that I was told who arrived were the people who were outside or people who went in, such as the police and fire department, the ones suffering the eye injuries, the ones suffering the dust and smoke inhalation. But now, again, from what I'm seeing from my vantage point, before they were coming in for the most part, they were walking in or they were climbing out of an ambulance and getting into a wheelchair and being wheeled in. Now we're seeing the stretchers being put to use.
All right, it's going to be a long, unfortunately grim story, too. We do expect an update from the mayor before long to give us some indication of where we stand as far as the rescue effort and perhaps some indication of casualties. You may have heard I was talking to Governor Pataki just a couple of minutes ago, and he's not giving any speculation about what kind of toll there might be. That's something we'll be finding out as we go along. And President Bush will be addressing the nation later tonight as well.
I think we're back on the air, Anthony. All right, it's the Opie and Anthony Show. Very unusual circumstances. We don't have to tell you guys, but Anthony and I are on Long Island. We couldn't even get into the city for the show today, so we're in the studios of WLIR. If that doesn't tell you how serious this is today, because we're not even owned by the same company, and radio stations and radio people are just vicious toward each other.
See, we're all coming together.
We're coming together. Actually, they've been our friends, no matter who owns them, and they've helped us out in the past. You know how weird this is? Sean Hannity is broadcasting from here as well.
Yeah, we met him before our show today.
Yeah.
He's doing his show from here because he can't get into the city either.
Which is it's just beyond bizarre today. But, here we are in the Party 105.3 studio.
What's this normally play? Dance music? Yeah? Look, they got the turntables and everything. Wow.
Can you scratch on these? No? Okay.
You can scratch your ass.
All right. Well, we'll go back to our show, obviously. But who do we go to next there, guys?
Hi, guys.
Jay, what's up, man?
I'm shook up, man.
Can you even believe this?
These filthy animals.
Yeah.
My wife, by the way, is in my apartment, and her and Frosty went out in time to watch the second plane hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah.
That's something nice for your wife to see when she's visiting New York, who was supposed to fly back to L.A. today.
Yeah, right.
You know what? If any government official is listening, if Uncle Sam genuinely needs me, I'm 31 years old with bunions. Hey, man, I'm in.
At least you're young enough there, Jay.
31, but I can shoot straight, baby.
I
know.
know.
If they start passing out, I already got my hollow tips. If they start passing out candy on my street, it's going to be a different party.
That's right.
Unbelievable, man.
Unfreaking believable. And you know what? There's a slight there's no positive to something this horrific.
No.
But just the fact that it's so clear-cut, black and white, good versus evil, that we have unilateral support across the globe. And if any country wants to hem and haw, like Jordan, Afghanistan, and go, well, we think he's here, oh, you know what? Tell us where he is, or tomorrow, there's no Afghanistan tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
and tomorrow,
Afghanistan.
Palestine is going to be called Israel.
You know what, Jay? I don't think Afghanistan could do anything to keep from being bombed. I think Afghanistan is going to be a primary target. The other countries have to just stay out of this, like Saudi Arabia. All those people that we set up missile batteries against Iraq for have to let us do what we have to do now, which is go in there and plain and simple get some good old-fashioned American revenge and make it impossible for these people to do this again.
You know what? I really feel more proud I was just talking, me and my neighbor sitting around watching all the news footage, and I said to him, you know what? I'm more proud to be an American today than any other day of my life.
Well, I'll be a lot more proud when we just wreak havoc on some of the people that are responsible for this.
I'm just saying, how many countries on this globe could have 60,000 national reserves in Jersey waiting to help?
Yeah.
None. Zero. One. The United States.
We're
scumbags.
We're freaking out because the way they did this is just it's so underhanded and using our own aircraft against us like that.
So Palestinian.
Yeah.
You know why Palestine has a seat in the United Nations? Because they did so much killing, like the 72 Olympic massacre, that every other country said, hey, you know what? We'll give you the seat. Stop murdering people.
You know why they've prospered for as long as they have? It's it's politics. No one's really turned around and told the other countries that do support them, F off. We have to do this. But I think this time America is going to turn around and say, I don't care if this screws up our relationship with this country or that country. This happened to us. We will do this, period. And hopefully that good comes out of this.
I think every American feels deeply disturbed.
It's pissed
off. Personally afraid and helpless, which is not like a Vietnam or an embassy bombing all the way in Africa or on another continent. The World Trade Center is gone. I'm looking at my living room floor right now, and they're the same. It's the same. It's flat. It's gone.
Yep. How many times you flown out of Boston to L.A.?
I've been on that flight 3 times this year.
How scary is that, man?
It's scary that my wife was supposed to fly back to L.A. today, and I'd be down in a Palestinian section just randomly beating people with a bat right now.
It's frightening, man.
How about the Hamas, the religious lunatic brains, saying, we have nothing to do with it. We blame U.S. policy. Why don't you just say we did it?
Well, you know something? They're going to get another dose of U.S. policy that I think is going to be a little worse than the policy we've had with Israel and Palestine.
And don't think Uncle Colin, don't think his ass isn't rubbed the wrong way when they took out the Pentagon. Uncle Colin, how good does that little soft shoe he did with the Chinese look and the treaty Clinton signed with the North Koreans who have nuclear capacity? It all looks good for us right now. And I'm telling you, any country on the fence, well, you know what? You better hand them over because we're just going to call you Israel tomorrow also.
Yep, there you go.
And we're going to paint big Jewish stars on everyone's forehead. We live in a country where no one can come in your house, rape your wife and sister, and beat you with a rifle and eat your food and leave, and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know about you, but I didn't pass any tanks on my way to Yankee Stadium this year.
Right.
I didn't pass any tanks on my way to do my movie acting or whatever it was. You guys go in and do your job. You're syndicated. Any city you're in, Cleveland, no matter where it is, no one has ever seen anyone throwing rocks at tanks. You see somebody arguing with a cop, you run the other way.
Right.
And they're jealous. These dirty, filthy animals are jealous because they live underground. They eat camel crap for a living, and they just can't stand that the quality of life here is so unbelievably fantastic that the only way to cut us is to take out. We're talking Vietnam casualties, guys. There's 50,000 people in that building. Granted, they had an hour and a half to get out of there.
I hope
Vietnam
a lot
was
got
10
out.
years in the jungle.
Yeah.
Well, they say 150,000 people visit those towers every day.
And 50,000 work there.
It's going to be. I'll say it's going to be a lot worse than the numbers were at Pearl Harbor because that was 2,000, 3,000 people, and this all civilians and whatnot. I mean, it's in a whole new category. Welcome to the new millennium because this is what we're going to have to deal with, and if we don't nip it in the bud now and make it impossible for these guys to do this again by wiping out all the countries that sponsor this and support it, then we're screwed. I don't want to sit back and watch the president and all these other politicians parade in front of the TV. Yeah, saying we will find and bring them to justice. No, I don't want to hear that.
Assassination.
I don't want to hear that. Do you know the debacle with the Pan Am flight that went down in Lockerbie? And they have the people that did it and the bull crap trying to get those people to trial because this country wouldn't give them to this country. You know something? I don't even want to see anything like that. I want quick retribution tenfold on what they gave. I want their little hovels. How many little dirt hovels equal the buildings that they took out today?
How many?
You can't even count.
How many dirt hovels do equal the building they took out today? I think you got about 11 countries worth.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Jay, did you see the footage of the 47-story building falling just recently?
That just went down about 10, 15 minutes ago.
Building?
It was the 47-story Building 7.
Building 7.
The
World Trade Center complex. Yeah, just went down.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, Jay.
These guys, I've been praying all day, and I was on my knees, and I know it sounds corny coming from me. You guys are used to me like cracking jokes, but I wouldn't joke about this. But I'm just praying like I got so much. I'm so lucky. I ask God, take a piece of my heart and just spread it around to the families. Because if I have half the heart I have, I'm still going to be the happiest guy because I'm retarded. Just please, somehow, let's get this going.
The next few days are going to be rough for a lot of people, man.
Not for the United States, baby. We have 2 Ticonderoga aircraft carriers. We're the only country in the world that has them. Each one carries 92 fighter planes on it. That's 184 planes over your city. It's going to look like night.
Yeah, New York City buzzing with fighter aircraft. It's pretty incredible. But, unfortunately, they weren't up there when those guys were flying towards the World Trade Center and the Pentagon. So, all right, Jake.
They canceled all the baseball games. That's how you really know we're going to war.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the telltale sign, man. World War II. They never cancel baseball games unless it's on.
As long as we don't have to watch the Chicks play like they did World War II.
Oh, God.
We don't need another
that'd
a league of their own.
Guys, I'm so happy you're safe. Is everybody safe? Everyone's in the fold?
We can't say that. We don't know. I mean, people that is associated with this radio show, we don't know. We don't know. We're like everyone else, wondering, wow, who was in the World Trade Center today? Who didn't get away in time,
I'm looking around.
Who was on the ground looking up because we're all curious and we had to get as close as possible to the World Trade Center when the planes hit and the next thing you know, the building's falling on top of you. We don't know. I can't honestly say that everyone that I know is safe.
I hope homeless Ziggy is okay. Hope he wasn't down there.
That's his area.
Little Ziggy's area.
All right,
on West 4th Street holding up TGI Fridays with his bare hands.
Yeah.
Jay, we got to get to a few more people, but if you want to call back, we'd love to have you, all right?
God bless you guys, and I'm looking around my house at all these scripts and stuff, and it sure seems irrelevant at this point, man.
Yeah,
let's rally. Let's be Americans and be strong and kick ass.
All right, Jay.
Swiftly.
Cool.
All right, take care, guys. God bless you.
Thank you.
Later, Jay. J-Ma. I know.
All right, Old Dirty.
Yo.
What's up, Old Dirty?
Is it on?
Oh,
I'm waiting for the director to say, all right, guys, nice job, cut,
Yeah, I know.
It's like a Die Hard flick, dude. You saw the video?
We said that. It was like, is this Die Hard 5?
Dude, I was bugging.
I
was bugging.
And we're like, the acting's not even that good. When it's real, you realize that...
it's real people in real horror.
Yo, let me tell you something. The people who did this, let me tell you something. I think there's a new player in town. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's the same old faces, OD. It's the same old faces. It's Osama bin Laden.
We know who they are.
It's Yasser Arafat. It's all these people. Oh, my God. I just watched another angle on the World Trade Center being hit by the second plane.
Yo, when it collapsed, I don't know, my heart sank with it, man. I couldn't believe it, dude. I thought I was looking at I thought I was looking at special effects, dude.
When you're watching it fall, it was the first time when it really happened and everyone's watching. There's something inside you that says, "Okay, now pull it back up.
Yeah.
Put it back where it is."
It was so symbolic. You're like, hang in there, hang in there, hang in there.
Where are you going?
Everything's gonna be okay. Just hang in there.
They'll get someone and pull it back up so it's there again, and then you just realize, no, it's gone. It's been wiped off the face of the earth. It is gone.
Dude,
and
these people are serious, dude. I mean, when you're dealing with people that are gonna go to this extreme, I mean, the attack on the Cold, man, they should have woke us up, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
should
I'm
have.
saying?
Yeah.
They blew up a $4 billion naval vessel that belongs to this country. Somebody should have stood up and said, "Hey, wait a minute. These guys are getting a little bit more. They're getting a little bit more cojones, man. We gotta start.
Old Dirty. Let me say something there. You bring up a good point. When the Cold got bombed, one of our ships was in Yemen. It got bombed by a small boat full of explosives. And do you know the security on that boat? The guy had a pistol. The security personnel were not at guns. They know Yemen was a terrorist sponsoring nation.
They're in the Middle East, for crying out loud.
But you know why there weren't people at the big guns on that ship? Because it was political. They didn't want to upset the people in that country because it was a port that helped us. And if we come in with our guns armed and ready to go, it might upset them. We got to get past the point of pissing people off or being afraid to piss these countries off. It's our own ass. It's American ass that's on the line here. And if we can't go into a terrorist-sponsoring port with men at our guns, I don't know how we're ever going to combat this.
How do you even start a mission in a country that's not going to let you, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How you going to protect your interests and their interests? Because, this country, man, you got to pat it on the back. Go out there playing cop. You know what I mean?
Yep, we're too politically correct to help ourselves these days. We're too politically correct to come into these countries and go, no, it's a hostile country. We need to protect our ships.
That's right. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you ain't gonna walk nowhere and not have something on you if you know you're in jeopardy of falling into some type of, you know, a catastrophe, dude. This is a catastrophe, dude.
Oh, I got another angle. This
Hold
one
on.
looks like from Queens.
Wow.
And they just show. Oh my God!
Holy
Oh
ass.
Jesus Christ!
Channel 9 just showed an unbelievable shot.
It's a guy sitting below the World Trade Center, and the plane flew right over his head and right through the building. In slow motion. It was probably the closest shot I've seen yet.
Yeah, this camera can't be more than a block away, looking straight up. And
New footage. The plane disappeared into the side of the building.
Wow.
And it was crystal clear.
Wow.
So they planned it out to the hilt, dude. I mean, yo.
They had some planning, that's for sure. You know,
Yeah.
and it's just so scary to think that we had no clue, and that they used, like Anthony said earlier, they used our own planes.
That's right.
And no one had a clue. If you think about it, there had to be hundreds of people to organize something like this.
The guy who probably gave the order was out in his crib, probably somewhere in some desert, talking about, yo, it's 9 o'clock. Set it off.
He's in a
Click,
cave.
and waited for CNN to pass the footage.
He's in a cave in Afghanistan, and his name is Osama bin Laden, and that guy should be taken out.
Dude, whoever it is, man, they got to catch the people who did this, man, because this is a little bit too much. You know what I'm saying? This is a bit much.
Somebody put up a policy, enacted a policy with this country that we don't assassinate people.
Yeah,
so that's why we never take out a leader. You know what I mean?
You know, let me tell you something, Anthony.
But we got to take out this bin Laden guy.
Dude, when you're dealing with gangsters, you got to get gangster, dude. You got to go down. You got to get grimy.
There you go.
Know?
Yeah.
You got to get grimy, dude. You can't play this little pussyfoot game, let's sit down and talk it out.
Yeah.
All right, yo, we're going to talk it out. But meanwhile, I got a hit team on your man.
We can't worry. We can't worry about offending other people.
Come on, man.
It's our ass.
Dude, you know how many people I knew in that building, dude? Man, I'm looking forward to like a month of wakes, dude. I haven't heard from PR. PR works down there. I haven't even heard from him, dude.
I can't watch this, man. There are people now. They're showing them hanging out the window of the World Trade Center. That
begging for help.
And, what a feeling of helplessness, man.
Yeah.
You're so helpless. You're like, damn, bro. You know what? Man, you can't do nothing.
Nothing.
Man, put a parachute on, my brother. Do it. Do something, man.
All right, OD.
Thank you.
We're gonna move on to some other calls. But thanks, dude.
Remembering the tragic events of 9/11. You're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show from Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. Coming up, a portion of the Ron and Fez show from that day, and a special 9/11 roundtable discussion with the 2001 staff of the Ron and Fez